Hello everybody and welcome back to the Professor's Review. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Smith & Wesson Border Guard. Let's get a close-up of that name here. There we go. So this is a knife I've had for a couple years. I got it Christmas of 2014 and I like this knife a lot. I don't use it too often or carry it too often, but I do love this knife. Alright, so let's see here. Okay, so the knife, let's grab the measuring tape here. Closed, it is about almost 6 inches, looks like 5 3/4, 5.5, going from the absolute longest length. And then the width, excluding the clip, is about, looks like 3/4 of an inch. If you include the clip, it comes in just under an inch. The blade width itself, let's see here, about 1/8 of an inch. Alright, the blade length alone, about 4 3/4, 4.5 inches. And there we go. So the overall length is going to be, careful you don't cut yourself if you do that. I suggest not doing that. Just under 10 inches, so it's 9 3/4 or so. Make sure I get it in the shot. Alright. So this knife, just did some measurements. Let's go over some of the points here. There's a point here. I don't know if you consider that a point. There's a point here. I'm kidding. I had to do that after I said that. Yep, that's a point as well. So, what we have here is a good quality knife. The blade is 440 stainless steel. It's covered in a black coating with the Smith & Wesson logo on it, as we saw in the beginning. It is a liner lock knife, where the lock that keeps it open is on the inside, the liner. It's a folding knife, and it has a pocket clip. Pocket clip does not move. It's just has the one point. I didn't know that some knives have multiple points, but it's just the one. So for me, it's a perfect placement for the pocket clip. I love how it's placed. And I keep it in my, so this would be my leg. I slip it in my pocket, and so the clip's on the outside. I have tried slipping it at the waistband a couple times. I don't know about that. But it's a tip-up carry. So when it's in the pocket and hanging, the tip is up, as opposed to tip down, which would be like this. And we have a 440 stainless steel blade. It has the Tonto point, and it is a sharp knife. I'm being very careful with the edge. I don't suggest you touch the edge unless you're very, very comfortable with knives. And then again, just don't touch the blades of knives. They're sharp, they're made to cut. Has a thumb stud on both sides. You can see that right here. Makes it easy to pull out right-handed or left-handed. I'm not left-handed. And that is an unintentional Princess Bride reference. But this knife has a very smooth opening. And it has a nice solid click when you do it. I love it. I could do that for a good few minutes there. Also has a little groove here on the one side, but it does not have it on the other side. I just noticed that. Don't know why. And let's go over here. It has the window breaker, seatbelt cutter, has a textured gripping right here. Some more decorative grooves, I would say. Has some jimps or knurling on the place for a thumb. Feels really nice. Also some jimps on the liner lock. It is a nice stiff, but it's not too stiff where it makes it too hard to close it. Let me get that in the shot. So you have the little liner lock in there, and it's easy to close one-handed. The knife does come apart completely, has the star type screw. I have not pulled this apart. My brother had one and he pulled it apart. So, and you can see all the different layers. You have the outside, then you have the inner liner, the blade liner, and then the outside again. This is very good quality knife. I have dropped it a couple times, as you can see here, and it held up, didn't mess with the function at all. I've never tried the window breaker or the seatbelt cutter, thank goodness, but the knife is sharp. It is a good quality blade. And of course I can't find the paper that I had ready to cut, and there we go. Just some old mail here. There we go. I have used this knife to cut part of my car because I was getting ready to go on a road trip and we heard a noise, and I guess I could sharpen a little bit more, but for just generic use it is pretty good. And like I was just saying before I interrupted myself, I was traveling and we were just beginning our journey, and we were hearing a sound coming from the tire and we didn't know what it was, so we pulled over and got out, and there was we had hit so this was in July, and in December, so about a year ago, we were going up to Montana. We hit a rabbit going at 80 miles an hour and it broke our front bumper. And so we had a piece of plastic that had been hanging down, which we had cut off with just a good old wood saw because we were in a hurry and couldn't unscrew it at that time. But then on our trip to California, we were just starting and we heard the sound. Didn't like it, so we got out and looked down in the wheel well, and there was some plastic hanging and rubbing against the tire. We didn't like that, so I pulled this out of my pocket because I had it for just in case of an emergency on that road trip, and it cut right through the plastic. It was, I'd say, about a 1/16 of an inch plastic, but it cut through it really nice and easily. I wish I had a piece of that plastic to show you here on camera, but I couldn't find it. Well, that piece I threw away, but I thought we had kept another piece of our car that had come off. But, nope. So, right here we have the textured grip, and it has a matching one on the other side, except this one underneath the clip, it is not rough. It is actually smooth, so it's not going to catch on your pocket or anything like this side would, especially since this is under the clip. It would catch a little bit easier if it was rough, but it is not rough. I don't think you can see that here. Maybe a little bit. You can see this is a little bit more sparkly, and this is more matte. But here we have, again, it's just a good overall knife. I could use a little bit sharpening, I guess, but out of the box it comes sharp enough for me. I haven't sharpened this at all since I have it, but I haven't used it all that much, so. But I do know, I have used it enough to know that it does cut well. It does what it's supposed to do. It does cut. I haven't whittled anything with it yet. That would be fun to do. Love, love, love that sound. It has a nice weight to it. I looked up the weight. It looks like 9.3 ounces. And it said, the same location I found the weight also said that this material here is called Zytel, and this insert for the grip is Track Tech. I'm going to say, yeah, that is the Smith & Wesson Border Guard Tonto. There are other versions of the blade. You have a couple different points. There's the drop point, I believe, is another one. And you can get it with partially serrated, would be serrated out to here. I personally don't like the partial serrations or serrated blades, so that's why I picked the Tonto. Actually, my wife got me this for Christmas, but she did have me pick it out. And so there's the serrations out to about here, just the general length of partial serrations they have, and you can get a couple different tip styles. And there's also a newer version that I saw when I was looking today that is more of a skeletal style, so it's not full. It has like a line through here of material, and then it's just whole space to make it lighter. I like this good weight. I carry it either in my front right pocket, or I have a pocket on my leg usually for a lot of my pants, whether it's cell phone pocket or just a regular another pocket there. And I like it. I do like the heft of it. It goes out really nicely. The grip doesn't restrict too much to going into the ice pick grip. It is a little bit easier, but I have just a restricted little space here. Hope I never have to use the window breaker or the seatbelt cutter, but I do have them. And once again, folks, we have the Smith & Wesson Border Guard, and that is the Professor's Review. Have a great day.